this video, I will be exactly discuss why Bitcoin saw this massive pump towards the upside, why the dollar saw a big dump towards the downside, and more importantly, how this structure is exactly continuing like we have been exactly predicting. So on today's update video, I'm gonna be going even more in depth about the current structure which we are creating. I'm gonna talk about, of course, Bitcoin and its price targets that I currently have in mind, and much more important charts and patterns that are telling us something about what is exactly happening. So without any further ado, guys, don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1000 likes. It will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So yesterday, Bitcoin saw a major pump towards the upside. And first of all, yesterday we saw major inflows coming in again on the spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. Ethereum ETF, we saw about $128 million of inflows. And on the spot Bitcoin ETF, about $1 billion was getting bought yesterday. And in terms of the volume, we were already expecting this because yesterday I saw there was over $1.7 billion in volume in the first 2 hours. And yeah, just to see that there's then once again an almost $1 billion inflow, it is just very great to see. And like you can see on this chart, this is literally one of the largest inflows we've ever seen before here. So clearly the institutions are interested in buying Bitcoin again here. But of course, the main reason also outside of the spot Bitcoin ETF buying Bitcoin is due to the fact that the dollar is heavily dumping, of course, and since the dollar has got an inverse effect on Bitcoin, the Bitcoin price is obviously increasing, and with that increased buying power as well, coming in from the spot Bitcoin ETF, we're just seeing another major push higher. And yeah, the reason why the dollar is most likely dumping is of course due to economic data, market expectation, geopolitical trades, and of course the tariffs which Trump is right now announcing on countries that are not going to obey the USA. So yeah, that is basically the reason why Bitcoin has seen its most recent pump higher. But of course already the structure was looking very strong. I mean, we're creating clearly a higher high structure with higher lows, and I said to everyone out there, as long as we're not breaking below the previous higher low, we're not going to confirm a bearish trend here. And what we actually saw here is exactly the retest like we forecasted right here. We came down towards this previous major level of resistance, exactly flipped it into support, and then from off that point we saw about a bounce of like 3 to 4% here, which was of course quite a big bounce. And if you took this trade with potentially leverage, you could have made a lot of money from this trade here. So the trend is your friend until it ends. Right now, it is ultimately looking very strong what we're currently creating, and yes, that is just what I'm looking at right now here. We're breaking out a side of that falling wedge pattern. We've broken above the previous high in the market, and that basically gives for me the confirmation that we of course are breaking bullish right now here. I mean, we're clearly breaking outside of this horizontal range which we were trading in, and now we're breaking out towards the top range again here. And honestly, the price target of this falling wedge here, I said it whenever we broke out here, is going to be $108,000, which is of course the all-time high for Bitcoin. So likely from off this point, we're going to see a big continuation. We have flipped the downtrend back into an uptrend again here. So the market is looking very good here. It is looking very strong. And yeah, all I'm looking for right now is potentially this resistance, which we have been seeing previously flipped into support, then once we broke below it flipped into resistance, and yeah, now we are potentially approaching this level again here, and this could be providing some resistance for Bitcoin. All in all, I'm going to be closely looking at this level. Whenever we're going to be touching it, you will be the first one to know, of course, not only on my channel but also on my Twitter page here. At the same time, Bitcoin is retesting the 1.618 on that Fibonacci extension level, which is of course a very important level in my opinion. And yeah, if we can really this time around break above this level, we're likely going to see that continuation. And just like I said earlier, the spot Bitcoin ETF is buying today. There once again is going to be a trading day. If they're going to be once again aggressively buy so much Bitcoin, it is obviously going to be meaning something very good for the trend and for the market, since in previous like last 2 weeks here, we only saw actually outflows coming in here, and now the big buys are returning. So definitely a shift of sentiment is happening right now here. And if you want to be trading yourself here, don't forget to check out Blofin in the highest link description of today's video. First of all, make sure to check it out if it is available in your region. But if it is, Blofin is a very great exchange where you can trade Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies with leverage. And yeah, if you're interested in that, check it out in the highest link in the description of today's video, because you can currently claim an insane $100,000 deposit bonus if you do use that link below, guys. And yeah, they are one of the fastest listings in terms of listing altcoins that are popular, and that way you can of course not be the exit liquidity but use the other exchanges as exit liquidity. So very great exchange, and if you're interested in trading, check it out in the link description of today's video. Further on, I do want to be pointing out a lot of similarities which we are currently seeing with the previous cycle as well, once we broke above that $20,000 level, which is maybe this time around like that 100k level, right? We're just seeing a very similar way of consolidation, and the last time once we did broke above that level, we did saw a major continuation in a very rapid pace, and that really marks the bull market rally. And in my opinion, the bull market rally is likely still to come here, and if you're going to compare all these previous cycles to each other, you can just clearly see here that Bitcoin has not really performed that well here if we're going to compare it to the previous cycles, and that is why I still do believe that we're going to be getting good performance. And if you just look at the timing in terms of the previous cycles as well, it makes sense that we're at least going to see like 2 to 3 months ahead of ourselves of good price action before we're going to go back in towards a bear market. But for sure, you always should price in that the bear market is eventually coming, and yeah, it's very important to prepare yourself for that as well. So yeah, as soon as I do think a bear market is going to come, I will definitely notify all my followers out there. Further on, we can currently see that on the Bitcoin dominance, we're seeing a slight little dump here, then a slight little bounce again here, but all in all, we're just at the point of before massive breakdown on the Bitcoin dominance. And I mean, as Bitcoin is going to be pushing up towards new all-time highs, more money is going to be available for altcoins, and that ultimately is going to also allow altcoins to heavily rally. And yeah, all the charts on the altcoin markets are just looking very strong in my opinion, and that ultimately also makes myself extremely bullish for this market. Ethereum also really looks like it is going to be exploding next year, and if you're going to compare Ethereum towards Bitcoin, on that weekly time frame, it's creating a very similar pattern, only it's lagging behind ever so slightly. And I do think it is going to be outperforming Bitcoin at a certain point in this market. And if we look at history, it is usually in Q1 of the year after the halving year. And that is exactly where we're currently standing. So this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, you learned something from it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.